Welcome, traveler. Care to join me for a story?
Good evening, everybody. And folks, no clapping because of the mic. Welcome back to Hit Point Hall, A Death in the Family. I'm your funeral director, Ford Blue, and I'm once again joined by our frightened foursome. Do y'all want to go around and reintroduce yourselves?
Yes, absolutely. Hi, my name's Madison Stromski. I use she, her pronouns, and I play Eris Prescott, who uses he, they pronouns.
Hello, my name is Gracie Rosenberg. I use she, they pronouns, and I play Lorelei Underwood, she, her.
Hello, everyone. I'm Victoria Orifice. I use they and she pronouns, and I am playing Eudora Underwood Chamberlain, who uses she, her pronouns.
Hi, folks. I'm Hannah Hillis. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm playing Liza Underwood, who uses she, her pronouns.
All right, folks. Last we left off, our crew returned home to family drama and weird tension following the death of the family's patriarch, Lawson Underwood, as Liza returned home after being absent for the family for the past 5 years, and an unexpected appearance was made by Lawson's right-hand man, Eris Prescott. However, this was certainly not the end of it, as Lorelei experienced strange visions of a bird-like creature, and Eudora claimed something that Eris wanted. With everything growing sicker and stranger, the night ended with a bang when Abilene was found dead, surrounded by strange black substance that the players realized they had been hacking up as well. Thus, the conclusion was clear: save themselves or die trying. And with that, let's get back into it. So you all waited for nearly an hour before hearing word from Alice, and Eudora, you finally receive a text from her saying, "The funeral will go on, but will be delayed until 3. Later arrangements are being made for Mom. Back soon." Even amidst the chaos, there's a sinking feeling in your gut that Alice intends to follow in the grand tradition of the family, that she doesn't mean for this to go anywhere anytime soon. Much like Abilene, it will die in this room and remain a secret that curdles inside you. You cough and you just feel your lungs squeeze, and with free reign of the house and the funeral delayed, you now have time to plan and explore before the show must go on. And you have access to any people still present and any room in the house that you feel might contain information for you, but you only have a limited time frame, obviously until 3 p.m. So I will give you some time to plan now before you guys jump into it. If you have any questions, feel free to, obviously tap on me.
So what time is it right now?
I would say it's kind of like early morning.
Okay.
So you got.
So we had the whole night.
Yeah, you guys have had the whole night. It's probably closer to about 6 a.m.
We've got quite a bit of time.
Yeah, you've got some time,
Okay.
but it's a very big house, so there's a lot of digging to be done.
So where we left off last episode is we were all in the living room and we were all sick, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, where we left off was that we ended in Abilene's room after finding her dead.
Right.
But then you had us all run out. So
I
now we're
also-
all outside of the room.
Okay, so now we're all officially out of the room.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why we shut the door with Alice.
So
Got it.
did Alice left?
Alice was presumably at the hospital with her mother. Same for the other two siblings. You assume they're going to be back soon, seeing as they said that they're just making alternate arrangements for Abilene, and that the funeral is going to go on. So you probably will be able to speak to them more eventually about this. But right now they are kind of MIA. So I think the way we'll do it, it's depending on the way you divide it up. Whoever decides they want to go talk to people, you won't be able to contact them first.
I think Lorelai's gut instinct would be to look around, just because if anyone has kind of been back to the house the most, other than, I guess, Eris, I think she'd be like, okay, I know what's supposed to be here. What's out of place? So I think she'd probably go exploring.
Gotcha. Okay. And do you guys want to take talking then, or how do you guys want to divide this up?
I think that my character, Eris, would probably also go exploring because he also knows when he hasn't been here in a while, but he's heard of things going on in the house. And I think he's directly going to go into Lawson and Abeline's room while Alice isn't there to control what he's able to see.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think Eudora would also probably, again, not going to the hospital because of the whole, like, Abeline wasn't her mother, so there's kind of that aspect of keeping things a little bit distant from and letting the siblings kind of have their moment, but like staying close and still investigating to see what she can find.
Right.
I think since they entered Abeline's room, and Liza has put the pieces together of she is also experiencing this, she's quiet. She has not said a peep ever after what went down. She has kind of this like 1,000-yard stare to her. She just hasn't been speaking to people. So if people are going somewhere, she'll follow, but she hasn't really been saying anything.
So I think we're all going on the explorer route. I mentioned a few direct rooms. Does anybody else want to come with me, or are we doing like a...
It depends. You guys can either do the Scooby-Doo, let's split up.
I was about to say, am I doing the
Split up and
Scooby-Doo, let's split up, gang?
Yeah.
Or...
It's really up to y'all. This is a session that's going to be more guided by like your like what you believe you what choices you would be making in this moment in terms of how exploration works. And given the mechanics of the game, your discoveries are going to be rewarded based on how you roll. You know, that is just simply the way of the game. So. And of course, I am going to try and guide you a little bit more if you're having some trouble. Yeah. So you're not obviously completely on your own. I'm not abandoning you.
You remember what happened in callbacks. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think Lorelai would go up to Liza, probably noticing at least a little bit that she hasn't said anything, especially considering the night before she was kind of batting back and forth with Alice. And I think she'd just be like, look, if she was alone and that's how she went, I don't want you to be alone, Liza. I don't care if you're not saying anything to me. I just don't want you to be alone.
I don't think she says anything. I think
You're keeping quiet?
I think she just kind of sniffs. Liza, I sniff. And just, I honestly think Liza goes to pour another glass of whiskey at 6 a.m.
Healthy coping responses.
Healthy coping mechanism.
These are regular, normal, healthy people.
Yeah, so now Liza's walking around with a hard drink. And she's trying.
This is really good for investigation.
I mean, she's trying to like parse stuff out. She's not like downing it,
right?
But she's trying to parse stuff out in her head. And so I think the first thing that she thinks of is she wants to go into Abeline's room alone.
Okay, so we have 2 people who want Abeline's room.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm fairly sure that now that Alice is a piece off of the board, I'm going to start immediately looking into places she probably wouldn't have let me into, including Lawson's office, Alice's room, and any places where I know my documents would be.
Okay, where do you want to start with that then?
I think as I notice everybody's kind of going into Abeline's room, I'm going to like sit and wait in the shadows, and as soon as like you can't really see me out of the corner of their vision, I'm just gone and I'm scurrying off into Lawson's quarters. It really is kind of like a scurry. He's there one moment and then the next moment you just see like a bit of a tailcoat as he's already gone.
Okay, so you're going Lawson's office.
I'm going Lawson's office.
Gotcha. What about you, Lorelai?
I think she is heading back to the library.
Library.
Yeah,
Okay.
library.
I think I'm going to stick around Abeline's room.
You're sticking around Abeline, so you 2 are staying together. All right. Gotcha. And with that, we're going to move along from this moment, and we're going to, I think let's start with you guys because you're closest, and then we'll move around this way.
Okay.
I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, of course.
So I think Liza has kind of put some pieces together that, I mean, everyone has shown signs of this sickness, right?
Yeah, if anything, you feel like even in just the hour you've been
Mhm.
waiting around, it's uncomfortable just to sit.
I feel gross,
You
and
feel
I can understand people around me are gross.
Yeah, it's like it feels the way like having the flu does, but like amplified. It's
Ew.
like everything is. It's like you can feel the way things are sitting inside you, and it's uncomfortable.
I want to look particularly in Abeline's room. I think we mentioned last time there was some dust
Mm-hmm.
scattered around the room, like black.
Yeah. Do you want like a more in-depth description of that, or do you?
Well, what I'm most so this room has not been cleaned,
Okay.
right?
No, it
Okay.
hasn't been touched yet because everyone was busy dealing with the fact that Abilene had died.
So, simply put, Liza doesn't care. She never had a close relationship with her grandmother. Like, obviously, she's like, oh no, someone died, but she's not really like super sensitive about it. So, like, there's also been a lot of black mucus.
Yes.
Which is gross, but I think like that's something like the goo particularly is something that really is like present among all of the family members.
Absolutely.
So I think I kind of want to
see what you can kind of
puzzle things out.
All right. Why don't you
Yeah.
go ahead and roll for that. And what are you doing meanwhile?
I'm really interested in also like the black, like whatever's like you said there was stuff all over the walls.
I did.
And, like everything. So I'm looking to see like is it mold? Like what is that? Is
Okay.
something I'm looking to kind of investigate.
Oh, baby,
Nice.
that's a 12.
Ooh. You can either take one lore or ask 3 questions. And
Damn
for
it.
those at home, if you don't remember, a lore point goes towards your lore move, which is a special move specifically for that character's archetype. And that can be used later or at any given time, really. It really just depends on how they see fit, but you can only use the move with a point. Anyways.
The lore point is very, very appealing. Dang, I'm in between.
Roll a dice to decide. It's up to you.
Okay, I think. Okay,
I'm just waiting for you to like decide how you want to do this, so then you can kind of like coordinate with that.
I think Liza's question in this moment, not just about the goo, but in everything, all of the pieces together, is how can I get out? Like,
how can you get out?
like is like she thinks that something with this illness is like, can she get out from like leaving this place? Can she get out somehow? Like, what are the clues in the material that that are suggestive of something?
I don't think you're gonna get any conclusive answer on can you get out from just looking.
It's more metaphorical.
The more metaphorical substance. Okay, I see. So you're kind of like I guess scouting around. Like, are you like looking specifically at the substance on the floor, on the wall?
Definitely, I think like she's grossed out by it, but she's definitely. I think she's like putting it aside and she's looking where Abilene died and like the substances that were around her when she died.
Are you gonna touch it? Do it.
Yes.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
yeah, I think
You're
like,
committing to touching it?
I think Liza has lived a less privileged life than her family members, and so she's touched some gross stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, I think she will lean down and kind of.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah, you kind of like scrape it with your finger up and like stretch it out between your fingers. And it has a thick mucusy texture. It is both human and like nothing you've ever felt before. It feels like a natural material, but it also feels entirely foreign. You know what I mean? Where it's like you've discovered an alien natural substance.
Oh,
That's the only way you can really like think of it that way. Like you can tell this was produced by a body just given the consistency of the substance and like the way it feels, and also like just the way it looks, because it's not like a pitch black, you know?
And I can recognize this as something that is coming out of my body.
Yes, very easily, because you had been hacking it up earlier.
Yeah. The word hacking being used.
I love it. I think we should apply hacking more in general. I think we should use grosser words for things.
And you're right.
We've seen that. We've seen that in the last episode.
Oh, I'm sorry. Nobody's a fan of whenever you get weird, gross
Hey,
words.
Listen, it's body horror. I respect it.
It's delicious.
But anyway, yeah. So it's a product produced by the body.
Yes.
Interesting.
And it once again, it's not pitch black.
It's not pitch black.
No. That I think is a mistake you would have made at first because you were just so taken aback. You were maybe
Right.
like, this pitch black substance is being like coming out from my body and
Yeah.
because it's like gross and freaky. You're not really gonna be examining it. But now that you're like actually like thinking about it, like feeling it in your hand, you're like, this isn't pure darkness. This once again, it's the natural material element coming in.
So it doesn't feel like it's not something that like you breathed in and like sneezed out.
No,
Like it's something or
No, I would say it's almost akin to something you could breathe in and sneeze out. But it's like the
so perhaps like coal.
yes, perhaps like coal.
Interesting.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it is
Interesting.
like the color of coal. It looks like it was forced inside. Like just the sheer density
Huh.
of the color. It looked like it is more than could naturally occur, you know?
Okay.
I'm using the word natural a lot, but I can't think of another better word in this.
Organic.
No.
Organic.
Organic. That's the
May I
word.
pause it?
Yeah. No, you may pause it. All right.
I would say Eudora is kind of like, while this is happening, having a bit of an emotional like back-to-back kind of inside of her right now.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, she's dealing with the fact that this is somebody who raised her, even though like she was kind of the product of an affair situation.
Yeah.
Like her relationship with Abilene was complicated.
Yeah, Abilene, I think, was cold to you at times, given the fact, like, in some ways you can't blame her because it's a hard thing to confront the fact that your husband was unfaithful to you, especially
course.
whenever it's like a transaction that feels so, how do you say, unnecessary,
Mhm.
you know? And in a way that kind of reflected on you a bit as a younger child, but Abilene kind of learned to like, the main difference between someone like Abilene and someone like Alice is that Abilene is way better at like regulating her emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Like Alice is good at putting out a front and like making you believe what she's saying, but you know deep down inside that's not what she's getting at. She's getting what she wants. Abilene is better at being like, I'm playing point guard here. I'm doing my job here so that he can do his job better. And that way we are working in conjunction.
Right.
She understands her role. And I know this seems very incorrect to say in 2024, but it is like the relationship that they had. She understands her role as his wife.
Right.
She understands being Lawson Underwood's wife and what that means mechanically.
Right. And I think that's something like Eudora, having not like spent those early formative years kind of under her care, kind of never really clicked with like how the family needs to operate. And that's part of why she's a bit on the outside.
Yeah.
And so like kind of having this struggle of like both, you know, this is somebody who did help raise her, but also that she had this tense relationship with. She's kind of going through it a little bit, not really paying that too much attention to what Liza's doing. I think she's poking around, just really trying to see like if there's anything that she can see, like how long this illness has been going on and like, you know, what caused this again, like whether, I mean, I think looking closely, would she also be picking up that this is like an organic, like not mold,
Yeah,
like-
I think you would kind of come to the same conclusion, especially if you're like looking at the wall.
Yeah.
Because like you're noticing like by just like, even if you were like to just try and swipe some off, it comes off very easily. Like it's
Right.
caked on thick and it stains, but it comes off.
Okay.
And it's very powdery.
Right.
But there is like a kind of almost a moldiness to the way it's forming. Have you ever seen mycelium?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
It almost has like a mycelium-esque pattern that kind of runs across the wall. And it's almost drippy, almost not, but it seems like there's almost kind of an intelligent design to the pattern, which is interesting.
Fascinating.
Yeah, like a fractal, if you will.
And just to clarify, like that's as you wipe it away, it's leaving this pattern?
No, it's like that's the pattern that it formed, but you're seeing it more
Okay.
clearly because of like the staining, you know?
Right.
Oh, okay,
Like that
okay,
is
okay.
the pattern that was on the wall, but if you like wipe it away, you can see it a bit clearer.
Interesting.
Huh.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So can I roll to poke around or? Is
Yeah,
that,
of
okay,
course.
awesome.
No.
No,
No.
not allowed.
You're actually not allowed to
can't.
roll.
Put your
cannot
dice
roll.
away.
Let's see. So we got 7 plus 1, so that's an 8.
Nice. Okay. So on a 7 to 9, you may find hidden area or threshold, find a minor item, or determine a physical hazard present. So let me see what I have here for you.
Handouts.
Handouts. I love handouts.
I have several handouts.
Oh,
Oh, that's exciting.
I have more
I love
handouts than you can
handouts.
shake a stick at.
and you didn't
love
have the
it.
mucus for me to touch.
It's a box.
Oh, I'm
Just
sorry.
go-
Did you want to touch it?
Yeah.
Did you want to put it? in
Need
your
some
hand?
like black slime.
If you have a
Right.
little glass bottle of goop, I'll lose my mind. I promise.
I do not have a little black bottle. of
I can
goop.
live without the goop. I no.
I might.
I can't live without the goop.
No.
personally.
we need the goop next episode.
I
will
think prefer to not be.
This
goop.
is the letter you find, and and like kind of like a desk drawer, like you know how in a bedroom there's always kind of like a little nook. It's not quite the study, but it's more like this is where you're gonna work if you're getting something done before you go to bed. You know, you find this in the drawer.
I got you. This is exciting.
It seems like it had been misplaced.
Okay.
Oh, something's blacked out.
Oh no, that's very interesting.
Yeah, as you can tell, it's a bit vague on what exactly the issue at hand is.
Can Liza notice this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think you're in the
Yeah,
same
am I in-
room. You
am I-
could turn around and notice.
Okay, so I'm
What's
gonna
that?
just read this out loud.
Yeah,
then
if
for
you would
both
like
of
to read
us,
it, feel
if
free.
that's
You
okay.
Would
don't-
you be? Are you?
I will
reading it
also
to
say-
Liza?
Yeah, I'll say I.
I'm also going to put this out there. Obviously, it would be more preferred if it's interesting that you read it out loud eventually. However, you can also keep it to yourself for a bit if you would like. It really depends on how you think things should play out.
That's tough.
Delicious.
Hmm.
That's so delicious.
I'm
I'm
intrigued.
gonna just
I'm
sidle that over
and
to you.
Oh, so okay. So this is very interesting. Eudora has decided to hand the letter to Liza.
Yeah, I think what happens is
Oh.
like you're reading
Yeah,
it in like just kind of dumbfounded silence.
Yes.
Because like it feels so unlike him to just leave something
Like this
like
out.
like this out in like his bedroom, which really tells you that something must have been happening near the end.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna say is probably more likely like than Eudora just handing it off to Liza is Liza saw me reading this going what and grabbed it.
No, I was definitely. If you, I'm gonna be so honest with you. If you didn't hand it to me, I might have rolled take
I also
control.
have
That's fair.
I also have a transcript if you need it.
I think I'm good actually. I'm
Okay.
really bad at reading handwriting.
There is
but-
going to be one that you will almost certainly need a transcript for
So
just because of
true.
the handwriting.
Ooh.
Mm.
Ooh. Oh, I'm intrigued.
I
Oh.
think okay. Does the okay? Is there actually like something blacked out here
Yes.
that's worth
Yes.
something?
It's not important. It's more just a name.
Yeah. I
Okay,
think I
it
got
looks
what
like
name it is.
it looks like Cunningham to me,
Mhm.
and I think Liza said is that. Does Cunningham mean anything to you?
Yeah, Eudora doesn't I
Yeah.
don't think is
Yeah.
familiar with the name.
Do you guys want to read that out loud?
Yes,
or-
I was
sure.
about to
Yes,
say.
Okay.
All right, so
Stromski and I've been sitting
so
here.
I think Liza, in her performance nature that she is, she'll say, "Dear Mr. Underwood, we hope that this correspondence finds you well. I am hoping to get in touch with you about the district court's proceedings. Last week, a lawsuit was issued against your business by a one Mr. Blackout. I think it's Cunningham. It looks a bit like Cunningham. There was no response to our previous attempts at contact, and so we are writing you personally. If the case is not responded to you or a representative within the next 30 days, there will be further legal action taken against you and your estate. In regards, is that Wilson Snatter?
Schneider, I think.
Schneider? Wilson
Yeah.
Snatter?
Mhm.
Interesting. That doesn't sound good.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, like I should state, this isn't like
No,
it is a multi-billion-dollar
Yeah.
corporation. It would be weirder
There's-
if there wasn't lawsuits.
but it's
That's
like,
true.
but it's in.
But for it to
Is-
be in like the like
for it to be in the
bedside
drawer and for it to
table,
be
like,
handwritten.
With it,
Yes.
yeah, the handwritedness of it is really interesting. Also, is Abeline's room still like Lawson's room? I
Yeah.
assume? Yeah. Like
It was the master bedroom.
okay, so
Right.
it's yeah. So they're in the master,
Yeah.
and also for it to be personal,
Yeah.
like in a personal space and not a workspace.
Yeah, which implies that it either implies that he was reviewing it again for personal reasons, or he just truly did not care about it. You know? Like, those are the only two things you could really discern from that. You know?
Why would the name be blacked out?
All right, moving away from these two while they ruminate. Lorelai!
Yes. I think while Lorelai's in the library, I think she would, just because she's been so horrified what's going on and just having seen some sort of bird thing she can't process, I think she'd be kind of looking around like, are there any books out in the library that Lawson may have been going through?
I think you're going to have to roll to puzzle things.
That's what, yeah,
Actually,
I was about to say
poke
poke around.
around.
I was
I
going to
think-
ask to poke around.
I think poke around is more appropriate in this instance.
I think so too. Because I don't have any clues yet other than that I'm so scared all the time forever. Big money, no whammies. Woo! That is a 7. And rolling for poke around is +1. And that is... I can't... 8. I can't do math quickly.
8. Okay. You find what you think to be like a scrap of like a newspaper cutout.
Oh.
It looks like it was like taken and like scribbled on. And on the back it says, I think on the back it just says like attic.
Oh. Okay. Oh. Okay.
Like it's like in some just kind of chicken scratch handwriting where it's just like attic. Like it's almost like it was used as like a bookmark. In a larger book about like regarding like either legal practices, town history, something like that. It was something regarding like local, like kind of local affairs.
The newspaper was?
Yeah.
Okay. Would it be anything that would like maybe ring a bell?
I think you're like the main thing you're seeing is an article about an event at the library. It's not really super exciting, but what is standing out to you is the date.
Oh, okay.
Because you see on the corner from where it's cut out, 1954.
Oh, so this is an old newspaper.
It's a very old newspaper.
Interesting. Okay, so the date is more what holds significance to me. then.
Yes, like, because the article's whatever.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that date.
Ooh.
You can't put a finger on why that is, though. You just feel like there is an important part of your history that lies in that date.
I don't think Lorelai would know what to... Okay, I think while I'm still in the library, is there like a desk or something that I'd be able to rifle through? Because I know there's Lawson's study.
I feel like that's going to be more where you'd find like a proper desk.
Okay.
Like there definitely is like a desk, but it's like less like one with like proper drawers and stuff like that. It's more like it has like the one drawer in the middle, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's like a pretty desk than it is like a useful one.
Okay. I definitely hold on to the little scrap of paper. She probably just kind of like tucks it in the strap of her dress so she doesn't have to worry about dropping it. Let's see. I'm guessing what else she would be looking for. Would there be other signs of like the goop or anything?
No, but you do just feel everywhere you go. Like you feel, obviously you've just been feeling tired.
Right.
Just tired. It's hard to move. It's hard to breathe. And you just feel this coldness on your back. And it sits on you.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Pushes against you. And when you look out of the corner of your eye in the mirror, you swear you can see that same figure looking back at you again.
She definitely screams.
But you can never quite catch it when you turn around. It's just there. It's just always right there to remind you it's there.
Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that at all. I think seeing, like, she would definitely be like, oh my God. I think she'd take the scrap. She would definitely
jump
disregard
back.
whatever she was going. And I think she tries to remember whatever direction Eris went in because she doesn't want to deal with Liza because...
Yeah, you jump back and you just hear this soft hiss in your ear.
Ah, okay.
And it almost sounds like pleading.
Oh, okay. I'm writing that down. Pleading. I don't like that. Hey, gang, don't like it.
A soft cry.
Oh. I think she almost feels bad for it. Like, she's definitely hauling it out of the library, but I think the fact that something is in pain registers to her as she goes.
Yeah. And for a second, you can, like, feel it, too. You feel pain like you've never felt before. And it disappears in a flash. It's not the kind of physical pain.
Just like a heart hurt.
It's grief.
Oh.
It's ache.
Is it my own? Interesting.
It's a foreign one, and it disappears as soon as it was.
Interesting.
Moving on to Iris.
Oh, cool. All right. So Eris kind of noticed in this moment of confusion that this was his opportunity to, without anyone watching him, do everything he wants to do. So he's got a lot of things he is looking for, and only one of them is the substance. He also kind of wants to find validation in the answer as to why everything happened the way it did. So he's going to kind of... Is it just Lawson's study that was Lawson's office, or is there a separate room?
I would say Lawson's study is his office.
Okay.
Like, they're one in the same. It's just called a study for the sake of fancy.
So Eris is kind of just going to, like, while nobody's looking, kind of just, like, sidestep out of their view and quickly make his way over there and just start rushing through documents and drawers, just kind of, like, flipping through a lot of the files because he already knows what majority of them are.
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and poke around?
Sure, I can poke around. Poke around.
I will say, as you're doing this isn't going to affect you quite yet, but you do hear that downstairs door open again. So
I am running out of time.
Yeah, you gotta. So you have to be light on your feet right now.
Sneaky
Okay.
man.
Okay.
Blend into the
Actually,
shadows.
can I use puzzle things out instead, or
I think that's up to you.
because I would have a better chance on puzzle things out. That's the only reason. I'm
It's
asking.
really up to you.
I'm gonna puzzle things out instead because
Okay.
I don't think he's really poking around. He knows what he's looking for.
Okay, if you feel like you know what you're looking for, you're looking through his files, you're combing through, and you're trying to find. You don't know quite what you're looking for, but you have a pretty solid idea.
I'm able to take out more things that aren't relevant than most other people.
Exactly. You understand his filing system.
Yes.
So you aren't going on blind luck.
I
You're
probably
going on
made it.
reason.
I probably was the person who convinced him.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's an 8.
All right.
We just barely.
With
You
your-
may
with
ask
your-
one question.
Yes. Oh, yes.
You can also, I know it's not technically allowed, but if there's one that doesn't really fit, you can ask one that kind of
I
fits
was
in the
going
same
to
vein.
ask, what should I keep an eye out for? So if I'm investigating again, I would probably know exactly where to look.
You look through, and I'm going to hand you this like this.
Oh.
We're not allowed to
Oh,
look.
that's
Oh
so many
my.
papers.
That's
You
a lot.
find a lovely stack of papers in the back of the file cabinet because you convinced him to organize by year.
Yes.
And these are from the 50s to the 60s. Back
That's
of the
so
file
much.
cabinet. These are
Jeez, you
old
say.
papers. Very old. And you see, I'm going to describe for the group as well what that top paper is because it's going to be harder to discern. You see an account ledger of like money going in and out, and you also see a series of legal filings. I won't say what are on them. I believe that is up to Eris's discretion to decide. However, that is the summation of what you have found.
Interesting.
Eris is going to keep those to himself for now.
Okay.
Awful.
So
Awful.
I think, if I may take some liberties here, I think it's like you find these papers and you like kind of leaf through them, and in a moment of like your own, I guess, preservation, judgment, you hear the door open and you just slide them right back into place.
Yep, I'm just going to
Like they were never there.
put them back in, and as the door open, he just kind of picks up a random file, as if he did find exactly what he was looking for.
And I think it's Hank coming in and he's like, I see you found your way around.
Yes, I was reminiscing. about
Reminiscent.
certain things. How is everything with Ebeline?
Well, it doesn't get much better seeing as she's dead.
Well,
You've always known Hank to be very blunt. There's a reason he's the attack dog.
well, yes, I could tell from the not breathing part. I take it that Alice is taking
Just-
charge of the funeral again.
As she tends to do.
Yes, Alice seems to take charge of most things, it seems nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And you just work with her on that? You do a lot of the heavy lifting I see nowadays.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me none.
No, it does not.
Yeah, my sister just came and told me to find you, so I...
She didn't she? You didn't make your own choice about that?
Well, it's also my house.
Not
And I-
anymore. And as he says that, he walks right past and just pats him on the shoulder.
He kind of like huffs and follows you out.
You can kind of like, nobody else can see this, and Hank might get a glimpse, but like just like a snake smile as like it's starting to happen.
Yeah, I think he
A
kind of
Debbie
like
Ryan, if
he
you
kind
will.
of walks next to you for a moment, and he's like, you know, I always wondered why my dad hung out like with a guy like you, but now I think I do understand it a bit better.
Your father
Cut from,
hollowed me out and took everything from me.
cut from the same cloth.
No, he took everything I had. And I'm realizing every day how much he took out of me. So heed my words before his daughter does the same to you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to save my own skin before you take the rest of it.
I think he like goes to say something, and he goes like,
Oh.
and he's like, you do that. You, not like you're doing much better either.
If I go, we all do,
Ain't that just the Underwood way?
isn't it?
It is.
Oh, that's crazy.
And after like,
And I'll keep on walking down.
and
my
after a
path.
harrowing,
La, 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 la,
after
la.
a harrowing true first interaction with Hank,
Wow.
you guys return to the living area with your newfound information. Lorelai, though, you kind of have an opportunity here because you've kind of moved yourself off into, you know, a different area, and they were more concerned with finding Eris because he's the X factor per se. You kind of have some mobility here. So if you want to do a little bit more searching and kind of move further on that lead you found, you do have a little bit of time.
Like further in the library or just around the house?
Around the house.
Because
Because you did get that lead on the back of the newspaper that said the attic.
right.
I
I think Lorelai wouldn't want to go back into the attic alone because I would imagine that was like one of the places that was kind of like off limits to her as a kid. And she was I feel like in the time she visited the house as a kid, she wasn't going to be the one like, oh, I'm not allowed to go there. Okay, there's plenty of other house to worry about.
Okay. In that case, do you just want to go back downstairs with the others then?
Yeah, I think I probably try and find everyone else because I think as much as I think she knows the importance of what she's found, she doesn't want to be alone. And even though she went off, seeing the bird thing again was like, and that's my sign. No, thank you. Back I go.
Farewell. No more of
None
this.
of my business, actually.
Yeah. So you guys reconvene in the living room, and you kind of see that Alice has kind of gathered everyone back up, not like a family meeting way, but almost as if like trying to keep her ducks in a row. You know, like she is more concerned now about centralizing people. Now that it seems like things are getting out of hand. And you also notice that same sickly pallor overcoming everybody else. You see it in Lucas, and you see it in Christy, and you see it in Thatcher. You see it even in like kind of in Dolly, but not really. It kind of just looks more like it's rubbed off on her a bit more than anything. But it's not really with her. She kind of seems to be the only one that looks relatively healthy, which is a bit unusual.
Can you refresh because I'm trying to keep all the names
Dolly,
straight.
is Dorothy. She is
Dolly.
the
Dorothy. Okay.
yeah Dorothy. She goes by Dolly, and she is the groundskeeper slash
Okay.
like house like house staff.
Got
Can
it.
I do a read a person?
Absolutely,
On Miss Dolly.
absolutely. My golly, Miss Dolly.
My golly, Miss
Good
Dolly.
golly.
I love the name Dolly. Wait, let me. Oh my God, what is it plus?
It is plus passion.
Plus passion.
Passion, baby. Big
Was
money,
it
no
bad?
whammies.
That's a 5.
Oh, baby.
Okay, so that's just a straight fail.
Yeah,
You don't
so
get-
I
you
don't
don't get
get. I
anything
don't
from
get.
that.
I don't get anything.
Yeah.
Goes
So
unchecked.
I think Laza walks. She. I don't think she even fully walks it. I think she's sticking to the door frame, and she like surveys everyone. Doesn't really. I don't think. I think she notices Dolly, but because of that failure, she doesn't really care that much.
Hmm.
And
I think.
mhm.
Yeah. Are you gonna say anything?
yeah, I
Okay.
was. I was. I think she looks at all these people who have made her life miserable. She says, "So we're all dying, huh?"
I think Alice kind of looks at you and just sharply says, "Liza,
What?
we're not.
We're all dying.
We're not.
We all look like.
We're not. We're not talking like that."
Uh-huh. Then what are you gonna do about it? Because you seem to know the answers to everything. So maybe you could
Then where's your
explain something.
then where's your suggestion, ma'am?
You've never cared about what I suggested.
You're damn right. Not about to start now.
I think that's probably when Lorelai walks about it, and she just kind of has no idea. That
Yeah,
Alice was
I
just
think
yelling.
you don't have to roll read a person to know that she's just about done with your.
Wait, okay, I want to actually, like, since I have a developed rapport with her from last episode,
Hmm.
could I read to get a little more?
Yes, you may.
Ooh.
Try to get a little more, because I really want to know. I don't know, I think Liza just is so desperate that somebody in this room is part of the conspiracy. And, like, I think
You're
it's-
just grasping at straws.
Yeah, it's nearly like she just it's almost childish, like how much she just wants someone to have the answer,
Mhm.
and more so someone to blame.
Mhm.
Okay, an 8.
An 8. That's
Wait, no, that's
Plus,
not an 8.
plus what?
Plus
Plus what?
plus reason, right? No,
And what is this?
this is read a person, but I have +1 on Alice.
Okay.
Read a person is plus passion.
Yes.
Plus passion. Okay, 9.
9.
Ooh.
You get to hold 1. So, seeing as I think you're kind of going more for like getting a vibe off of things. You can just ask one of the questions, and
My papers are all
we'll
a
interrogate.
mess,
I could just read you the question.
Yes.
It's: are they telling the truth? What are they feeling? What do they intend to do? What do they wish I would do? And how could I get them to blank?
Oh, that's hard.
There's some good choices you can make here.
The
Oh,
questions
that's
are very
hard.
good in this
They
one. That's what I
really
really
are.
like over Monster of the Week is that Tremulous has really good like read a person
Mhm.
questions.
This is the Tremulous Hype Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Mhm.
Oh God. Okay. I don't think I doubt her telling the truth or what she's feeling.
Hmm.
We're all sad. Grandma just died.
I feel
That's
like-
definitely
yeah,
I think
most
I'm,
emotion.
I think I'm most curious because I kind of know that she's trying to keep control over the situation.
Hmm.
But I guess like what does she intend to do about it? Or maybe what she intends to do about me in particular.
Here's the thing.
Because she's getting sassy.
I think for
Sassier.
the first,
Sassier.
I think you're kind of getting a read that for the first time.
A person? Read a person.
Yeah, read a person. I think for the first time you are truly realizing she doesn't know what to do, and that terrifies her.
And that terrifies me too.
She doesn't know how to fix it. She doesn't know how to make it better. But you can feel this energy where she's like, I know that there's something. I know that we did something, but I don't know what.
I know that we did something.
Like that's the energy where it's like
Okay.
we caused like there's like like idea of like karma. Like you can you almost
she's thinking about
she's
karma.
like this is biting us in the ass. You know, like whatever's happening, she just feels it. And you get that vibe from her just from how like snippy she's being about it, where she's like, I don't know what you think you're getting out of this, but we're all going down in the same boat, and there's a damn good reason for it, you know?
Oh,
I think Liza, I mean, she huffs and puffs a bit, but she gets really close to Alice, and she's gonna be like, "I'm not like you." Oh, and then she just kind of, I think she almost like pushes a little bit.
Oh, and I think she kind of gives you a little.
Or I'm not like y'all. She's gonna say y'all.
Oh, I think she kind of get like
a
almost
y'all.
like she looks at you and goes, "You're not like us. Guess where you found yourself again. You'll always be right back here with us.
That's not true.
You're always an Underwood, whether you like it or not.
I left for 5 years.
You can run
and
away
you
at-
said nothing. And no one in this house said nothing to me. And,
Oh, did that
and
hurt
I
you?
will leave. I will leave again. I will stay here until the funeral is over. And if I'm still alive. And I will leave again, and you will never have to see my face again. And thank God for that.
You know what? Yeah, thank God.
Good.
If it hurt your feelings so damn bad, if you didn't want to see us so damn bad, then why'd you try so hard to get a hold of us? And you know what? I did see your calls. And I think that's where we're going to take our break.
Oh, you can't do that.
Yes, I
That's
can.
not allowed.
What? Mid-argument?
Yep.
My calls.
Hello? Excuse me?
Folks, we'll be right back. Welcome back. After a harrowing fight with Alice, we leave Liza to lick her wounds.
I think Liza stares at her. I don't think she even has time to like process a response before she feels like a bubbling in her throat.
And I think in Alice's eyes, you see something both human and piercing, yet there is a bird-like slit found within them. For just a moment, it flashes by. And then she is like down at your side and she's like, "Liza,
Don't touch me.
she kind of huffs and throws like a box of tissues towards you, and she's like, "Here." And you're all just left in this piercing silence of realizing that there's a power vacuum to be filled here.
Well,
Control has been lost.
I see that we might need a break for a moment.
Yeah, I would say
I
so.
have some things I would like to share with everyone. Alice, you can go take a rest if you need. It seems you are dealing with a lot. I will go get the papers. If, I haven't really been through the house much. Eudora, Lorelai,
Oh,
Liza.
eat shit, Iris.
That's funny, Alice, because I've never seen someone fail so spectacularly as you have. I am going to do something useful instead of yelling at children.
Children, she's nearly 30.
But you act like one so well. Oh yes, scream at me some more. It was very entertaining. Would you all like to come with me? Because while you were, screaming about calls 5 years ago, I was finding things that happened now. So, you know what? Go pout in the corner. I'll do something useful. I'll fix this family.
Good luck fixing it.
I already have.
Can I, I don't know if this is possible. Can I read a person on a fellow PC?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because I think Eudora is
Absolutely, you
watching
can.
this and just and yeah, I want to read a person on Eris right now to see
You didn't
what
want
your game
Lorelai?
is. Yeah, right? No, Lorelai, what are you thinking right now?
Nothing.
No, Eudora just wants to know, like, what do you intend to do with this family? Like, that's what we're kind of looking at. And that is a 6, double sixes.
Oh!
Plus 3.
Oh, that is a clean victory.
Oh.
You hold
Confess.
you hold 3.
Yeah.
Confess,
So
pretty boy.
I think just what can I pick up about your motivations?
Yeah,
here?
I asked the question, and I think you have to answer in your
So-
character's intent.
So Eris originally came, and you could tell he originally came not because he wants any sort of money. He does not care about the money. What he cares about is being able to control the business, because he sees in his eyes, he built it with Lawson, and he came here to figure out, 1, why Lawson did what he did to him, and 2, if Lawson actually was true in his word and left him the power that Eris was fighting for. Now, you can see a sort of snake just tightening,
Mhm.
because he realized that you all are dragging him to die, so if he's going to go down, he's not going to be the only sacrifice this time.
Right.
Oh.
So depending on how either you side with him, if you're helping him out, he's going to help bring you from the depths. If you don't, he's pushing you down with him.
Right. So I think that's going to be a solid, like, I pocket that and just,
Yeah.
so hold 2. That means for
She-
kind of the rest of this conversation, I've got this.
I think you gather that as Alice kind of glowers at Eris one last time, and she's like, I'm gonna go pick up what's left. You can try salvaging scraps if you want. Good luck. And leaves you to deal with it.
I think Liza kind of just like she clears her throat. She's been coughing this whole time.
Lorelai goes to. I don't know if she's sitting or standing, but Lorelai moves next to her.
I
She
think
doesn't
she-
say anything, but she stands there.
I think like she kind of like keeled over.
She
But
puts a hand on your back. Just
I
gently,
think-
just barely, because she's afraid. I think as she touches you, that you're a live wire and that she'll get shocked if she
Yeah.
touches you.
I think like
so
this
it's
is
kind
the
of like
first
ever
time
so-
she doesn't actively like reject you, but she does like keel away from it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she looks at Eris, says, "What do you intend to fix?"
Only thing we can fix is not die.
I mean,
and
there's
I'd rather not, quite frankly.
there's some kind of horror
I-
haunting us.
Here, let me show you what I found.
Something's out to get us.
Yes,
and
I
quite
know.
frankly, I think that's my first priority.
That is the priority
Okay.
I am getting to. Oh my God, will you let me just do my job? I'm going to get the papers. Just go.
Yeah, you like throw your hands up in like your very like exasperated expression, and then you kind of just like
so European.
yeah, and then you go walk off. Like I'm just imagining a very exaggerated little frustrated walk
Yeah.
as you go to get the papers. Like
It's too whimsical.
yeah,
Too whimsical
a
for
little
such a
moment
sad,
of,
dramatic
of
man.
levity and how ridiculous it is as you go to do it.
Yeah, so I have these papers about court cases that happened quite a while ago.
I will say-
about the Underwood mining operation causing bodily harm and poor health to
Oh.
workers. So if you guys want to pass it around,
Yeah,
this one is a bunch of settlements with corporate gifts, major gifts, two names.
to a specifically always to a person named Waller.
Yeah.
for the people at home,
I want to take
And these are quite old.
and that's Waller with one L.
These are quite old, I'm fairly sure.
Yes, I would actually say, Lorelai, you notice the dates on there are particularly close to that newspaper clipping you noticed.
And as I think I read that, I'm like, y'all, when I was, who all is in the room? Is it the 4 of us or Sam, Hank, and I know Alice is gone.
I think Hank like went to go with Alice, but he's kind of like more hanging around than anything else. Like he's hanging off to the side. Sam is also like remarkably quiet, keeping his mouth shut because he's not looking to, as per usual, he's pussyfooting around. And you also
Great term. Great.
yeah, I feel
term.
like we should use it more.
I agree. So I think
Very
let's
Southern.
not.
And then of course there's Lucas, Christy, and Thatcher, but they're more, like off to the side dealing with their own stuff. I think Christy is trying to like be like talking to her husband, being like, let's just go. Like we've lost like whatever we have here, we can just go home and drive back. Like it doesn't matter, and that doesn't seem to be going very well. Lucas is a mama's boy. And you also notice that Dolly is still here. So to put it this way, you have two routes you can take. As I mentioned before, you can talk to people, try and discern some information from that, or you can go gather some more like physical information that's kind of scattered about.
I do just want to put out there that while Eris was off grabbing these, I just lean into Lorelai and Liza and just say, don't trust this man.
Okay. So you tell them not to put their trust in him.
Yes.
I think Lorelai kind of like, because she didn't have any strong feelings about Eris either way, but I think the outburst kind of started rubbing things the wrong way, and I think her having, even though she hasn't seen Eudora in a really long time, she's like, this is blood. If there's anything I can trust, it's her, and so I think she just kind of takes it and just kind of like, okay. And with that, I think she kind of pulls out the little bit of newspaper scrap that she had stashed from the library, and she kind of holds it, and she's like, I was in the library, and I was just kind of rifling through. I was trying to see if anything wouldn't right, and I found this newspaper clipping. I looked at it, and it's from like 1954, and from what I'm looking at in these papers, it's about the same time. And on the back, I don't know if would it be Lawson's handwriting?
The newspaper?
The scribble that says attic.
I think it would be.
Okay.
It either looks like Lawson's or Aveline's, but it is family handwriting.
Yeah. Okay. It's like I think it's Papa's handwriting. It says something about, it just says attic, and that's probably something. And I thought about going, but with when things are looking, I don't want to go alone. If Aveline died alone, nope.
I think it's best that we stick together at this point.
Yeah.
I'm going to just kind of take the news, kind of looking at all of this together. I would, if possible, like to use my lore move, Provenance, to say that I know a lot about the item in question, if that's okay.
Which item?
In particular, I'm going to say overall, not the newspaper clipping, but I'm most interested in kind of what's going on with the negligent conditions of the Underwood mining operation.
Absolutely.
That's something that I've heard of because of my childhood, or
I don't think you've heard of it, is the thing.
Okay.
You may have heard some rumors.
Okay.
But there's nothing you could confirm solidly. The Underwoods are very tight-lipped about their past.
Okay.
What you do know, though, this is what I will give you with your lore move.
Okay.
You know specifically, as you're looking at this newspaper scrap, which says 1954,
okay,
that Lawson arrived in Briar in 1953.
Okay.
The year prior.
Okay. So so Cecil and Blanche, like my grandparents,
Yeah.
they weren't from Briar.
No, they were from Little Rock.
Okay.
Meaning that Lawson came here on business, and he was originally working for his father's company, which you weren't quite sure what exactly the work was, but you know it had to do with like natural resources. And so that leads you to believe, obviously, given the context of like these lawsuits now, it must have been mining.
Right.
So we have the illness on. We have whatever the plaintiff had.
Yeah. And I will also put it out there that
Oh.
given your history with antiques, you are also very aware of the Ozarks' history of mining disasters.
Yeah.
With silicosis and black lung, especially, and mining collapses.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking with like, especially like, I mean, just being around like in the field that I'm in.
Yeah.
That would be something that Eudora would be familiar with.
Yeah. And this isn't solid evidence. This is more just like, based on what I'm seeing right now, this is what I can conclude. But that, in your mind, isn't enough to be like, okay, but why is this coming back right now?
Of course.
Like, you have like a how maybe, but you don't have a why, and that's what's bothering you.
Yeah. And I think I'll express kind of what I'm thinking to the group. So all of that.
Is this one before or after Eris?
I would say because we're talking about the papers and stuff. I would say it's after. Eris has come back.
I think
At this point, to get the
don't
chronology.
trust him. Yeah.
To get the chronology,
After.
that was just a little note, like, well,
Well, he leaves to go get papers.
So you don't
Okay.
know about that. But yeah,
no one's gonna believe you.
No one's gonna believe you. But yeah, so
Inside joke.
yeah, I think that Eudora is very much kind of just like, well, I guess we need to go to the attic and see what's going on with that. Would I recognize the handwriting as either Abeline's or Lawson's, or just?
I think you would recognize it as Abeline's, actually.
Interesting.
She was the one that was more organizing things around the house.
Okay.
Either that or Dolly. But Dolly, if you had to guess, it's more like Abeline wrote the note and Dolly did the actual organizing.
Right.
You know, given the way that the house staff works.
Right.
Would Eudora have communicated that to Lorelai? Maybe if she recognized it?
Do you
I
think
don't
you
know
would?
whose question that would.
Yeah, I think. I mean, if you mentioned, if you said something like, "Is this?"
I couldn't tell whose handwriting that
I
was.
would have. Yeah, I would have communicated that.
Okay. I think with that, I think Lorelai probably goes to be like, "Hey, Dolly, when was the last time like the attic got rearranged?"
I think she kind of jumps a little bit at that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to start.
No, you're just fine. No, it's been many, many years. I think she's kind of an older woman herself. She's about your age, Eudora. A little bit older, probably. And she's like, well, I came here in about the 70s. So,
Okay.
I know that Abeline kind of did a clean out. Oh gosh. She did a clean out a couple years ago. Just moving boxes around.
Okay. Is that that's like kind of all the old like family junk? I'm guessing old papers and stuff, right?
Yeah, mostly old papers. You know, I just don't think this is an appropriate topic.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Perfect topic. People are dying.
Yeah, I'm gonna seeing that she's like
a little bit
on
on edge.
edge about that. I'm definitely reading. Like,
Go ahead.
Trying to read a person again.
I think Lorelai goes to do that.
I'm
as
very
well.
suspicious
Can
of
I?
that. It's 9 plus 3, so that's
Wow.
I don't think I need to.
Good lord. Nobody needs to do anything when Eudora's here with people.
Whoa.
I have plus 3 to reason.
Okay, hold up. I got a high roll too. I got a 10 plus.
And this is did you say
11.
roll were you rolling to
read.
That's passion.
But because of my
Yes, that's right, because you have
yeah,
a move.
I
for that.
have the shrewd dealer move, which allows me to analyze people through my insight and experience.
That's right. I forgot. What did
so-
you get?
I know the same.
Yeah.
What did I get?
Yeah.
I got an 11.
Okay, so we got 11 and a 13 or something like that. Something ridiculous.
I think if they have crazy
12.
rolls, I'm not
Okay.
doing it.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
bother.
no. I
But
think
whatever she knows, I
Yeah, you guys are kind of like a pack of wolves. You hone in.
Sniffing weakness.
We're like, oh, that's weird. Huh?
Yeah,
Weird.
you guys sniff out weakness like bloodhounds, which truly living up to your name in that moment.
Major Underwood behavior. We're not the prey. We're the hunters, baby. That's how it goes.
No one can question the Underwood blood here.
These colors don't run.
We might be on the outside, but we're still here. But yeah, so I want to know, like, what is she really feeling in this moment?
Anxious.
Oh.
She definitely knows. Here's the thing about housekeepers. They know more about your stuff than you would like to know. They know more about you than you know about you sometimes. And the thing about working for the Underwoods in particular is you got to be real good at keeping some secrets because that's your paycheck. And I think she knows very well that as long as Alice is still around as well, she still has her job and she's risking her paycheck and her life by talking to you.
So my next question, because I get 3.
Oh, what?
Is how can I get her to spill the beans on what she knows?
I think you have to make her feel safe. Like you have to make her feel like she's not going to get in trouble for speaking to you in that way.
Right. Okay. I'm going to let you do what you want to do, and then I'll jump back in because I have thoughts.
My first, Liza's first thought is threaten, but I think knowing that, I don't know, I think there's part of her brain that's like, no, I can't.
Can't swing too hard. You already swung.
Yeah, I already swung. I need some time.
All right, then.
I'm gonna say, Dorothy, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean,
You look better than us.
My
Just
chest
wondering
is
what your secret is.
tight.
Vitamin C.
Is it that? Is it the little powder stuff that people put in their drinks on airplane? I'm sorry.
No. I just, it's been a long day. I think I just need some water. This is frankly the most human you've ever seen this woman. She's very good at her job. She's very good at removing herself from, the humanity of a situation because she knows that she can't be too involved with you all. I think, here's the thing, Eudora. You understand better than anyone in this moment the main difference between you and her is that she is not in Underwood.
I think what I'm going to do is she walks off to get some water, I'm guessing, and I'm going to follow her and just be like, hey, I, for all that I am very distant from my siblings, I'm still in Underwood, just the same as you.
Ooh.
And there's nothing that you can say in this space that would ever cause any of us to lose trust in everything that you have done for this family. What is going on that you know? And I'm gonna roll to convince her if that's
go for it.
It's plus affinity. Is that
Plus affinity? Yeah.
affinity is okay? I have plus
Yeah,
one.
plus affinity.
Yes. Big money. Big money.
That's a 6. Okay, I always have to say that because this dice has a little skull on it for its
Yeah,
6, and I was like, oh no, is that a 1? No, it's a 6, and then a 3, so 9 plus 1, 10.
On a 10 plus, you already did this, but they ask you to promise something first, and then you do what you ask once you promise, which is that you promise to protect her, basically. And she's like, "You can't tell Alice I told you anything."
Yes.
There's some old letters upstairs. I shouldn't have seen them. I know it was bad of me. It was bad of me to look through them. But when we were doing all that reorganizing, I found these papers upstairs from the 50s or something. And it's all letters from people in Briar. Your daddy, he would build mines out here.
Mines.
Yeah. Right where this house once was, actually. And people were none too happy about it. That's about all I know. But they don't like people talking about it. Because it led to a whole heap and hell of bad press. So they've paid an awful lot of money to keep that out of the courts.
Right.
So if you go snooping around, I don't want my name in it.
You had nothing to do with it.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you.
I appreciate you and your kindness, Eudora. But I'm going home to my kids.
You should.
This is a bad place. I don't know what's going on with y'all. But I only hope the Lord can help you.
I appreciate that, Dorothy.
And she chugs the water, knocks it back like a shot because she is just truly having a day. She kind of looks back at you and she kind of gestures for you to turn away. And she's like, if you just so happen to find something on the counter whenever I leave the room, just put it back where you found it. And you turn away, and whenever you hear the door shut, you turn back around, and there is a key to the attic on the counter.
Yes!
Nice. So this isn't where anybody else would hear it, right?
No.
Okay.
Eudora took her to somewhere quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll return to the group and just I'm gonna guess that maybe
Yeah. who
Dorothy
else?
kind of goes a different way to get out, and I'll just say
Yeah.
that Dorothy went home.
Yeah, she went out the back.
Yeah, I'll just say like, yeah, Dorothy's going home now. She's really not feeling that well and wants to
Mhm.
recover back at home,
Yeah.
which I think is
That's smart. It's been a lot for all of us being back for what, 24 hours?
That said, there's some things I want to look at. So if anyone wants to tag along, you're more than welcome. But I think I have a lead on how to get to the bottom of this.
All right, let's do it.
So the attic. That's what we're going.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
Yes.
All right, let's.
I see. And he's gonna stand behind you three.
As we're walking,
How do you deal with
Just-
that?
Lorelai doesn't notice it.
Oh, I obviously.
But that's
you
on
don't.
brand.
But this is. I picture this more as a standoff between you two, because you understand more. Like, don't get me wrong, you're very smart in your own way, but you're not processing whatever
No.
Iris is doing over
Oh,
here.
no.
Like,
This isn't the 5D chess match.
this isn't
Yeah.
five. This is
isn't 5D
between.
chess.
This,
This
is
is
wizard
between
versus
two-
wizard.
Yeah, this is between two older people that like see each other for what they're doing. You know?
I know the games you play.
Like,
Two ice queens.
Yeah. No, it is. It's the battle of ice queens. You know?
Ooh, so
Also
I'm
if I
gonna.
say
I'm a queen. Slay.
because I have my magic read a person holds still. I still have 2 more questions for you.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I love that you saved them.
I didn't know what to ask then. I'm gonna ask, what do you wish I would do?
I
good
want you
question.
to open the door first, and if something goes wrong, he's going to. You notice that on his side, one side of his coat is covering a larger item, which might be a handgun. And if something goes wrong, he wants to make sure that, yeah, you'll be out of the line of fire. But he doesn't want to be the first person to go.
And I think that's fair. So I'll lead on.
I think on our walk there, I think Liza's still like holding and like rifling through the papers. Missing this 5G chess match. And just like, I don't understand why this is affecting me.
I don't
understand. I can understand why it's affecting you two. But
Well,
me and you, Dora?
I mean, we're all stuck
What?
with the same blood. I mean,
He's not.
eh?
Sorry.
How'd you get stuck here?
But we don't. I'm not part of this.
I mean,
I
neither am I. I've been gone, you've been gone, she's been gone.
You're not part of this?
What? The most I've been home is back to visit. Does
don't
that
know.
mean I'm responsible for all these people dying, Liza?
Listen, I
That's
don't
not
know.
fair, and you know it.
I don't know if you don't know or don't care, and I can't tell which makes you stupider.
All right, girls, settle down.
I think the moral of the story is that we are all currently hacking up something.
I'd rather not die, and if you don't want anything to do with me the second we leave this house, that's fine. I just don't want to die here, and I'm sure you don't either. So if we can solve this, get out of here alive,
Let
fine.
me get to the point.
Sure. Please.
That pretty laugh you have in France, it's paid for. It's blood money from this.
And yours isn't?
I've been sleeping in my car.
Okay, but you still don't have the Underwood name attached to your birth certificate. What makes you any different?
And I think at that, Iris, you just hear that same little words echo in your ear that, what makes you any different? In a hissy little voice.
Oh.
And it feels like a beak scraping right against your ear
Ew.
with teeth.
Oh,
Teeth.
I left. That's what makes me different.
And I didn't. I got dragged away. What that? I couldn't even control that, Liza.
But everything was paid for you. They love you. They
Is
don't
that
love
supposed
me.
to be my fault? Am I supposed to feel bad about that?
Maybe.
I mean, I didn't do anything. You treat me like I spit in your coffee every morning of your life. I haven't seen you since we were kids. That's not fair to me, and you know it. It's not fair the way they treat you, but that doesn't give you any right in the world to treat me the way you treat me.
As you ascend the stairs, the portraits begin to warp
Oh.
and
Oh.
and change.
Oh, okay.
There's a darkness and that same coldness you're feeling settling on your skin, and the portraits warp into something dark with the faces blotted out the same and that same dark liquid spilling out of the mouth. And you see that you see a color that isn't black for the first time, and it's red
Oh.
right over the hands of all the portraits.
Like they've been clawing out of something?
No,
No,
No.
I think
like
it's
there's blood on their
because-
hands.
Blood on their. Okay, I get it.
Okay. I don't.
And you look
Like
down and you
this.
see the same.
On our hands.
Yeah. And it's
Move.
in
I
that
don't-
moment you all just feel this great shadow overcoming you.
I'm gonna turn around to see what it is, and my hand goes to my side.
Lorelai
I think-
scoots to Eudora, like kind of just as close as she can get.
There's this uneasy creaking, like wood twisting and bones popping.
We need to move
Yeah.
right now.
I don't like this.
Up
I
the
think-
stairs now.
I guess we go.
Yeah, I'm
I-
rushing for the
yeah.
the door to the
Yeah,
attic.
you
Yeah,
just
no,
like
I
start
call it.
fidgeting with the lock. I
Yeah.
just imagine you like desperately like just get in
Yep.
there, get in there, and you
Come on.
pull that door
Get
open.
it shut. Get it.
And everyone just rushes in, slams the door shut, and you just hear this and fingers squeezing beneath
No. No.
I didn't do this.
the space in between,
No. No. No.
and that
no, no, no.
same sickly wailing you
no.
heard earlier.
Oh.
It becomes a little bit clearer now what that pain is.
Oh.
It's desperation.
I think I heard them earlier. I was in the library and I heard something. It sounded like it was crying. I think this could be these miners. Yeah. They're angry.
They want something from us, and we won't know unless we start reading.
Yeah, I guess.
I also fully have my handgun out now. At this point, he's fully pulled it out.
Yeah, shoot
I
the
think a
Eldritch Horror. That'll
right.
fix it.
Yeah.
Right.
We can try.
Like the military in movies. This'll fix
Yeah.
it.
Hey,
This
this
is
out
the
my
s-
South.
nail clipper.
we have our guns.
Yeah.
This is the South. We just shoot things till they go away.
Yep.
I keep a gun on my porch like an American.
I think when Lorelai watches you take your gun out, I think she flinches a little bit. She's already so startled as is, and I think that really just. Okay, I think we. Okay,
I am the least scariest thing in this house.
sure.
You
just-
yeah, you
Sure.
guys like turn around and take in the attic, and it's just like, it's actually pretty sparse. Like it's pretty dusty. But there are still like the boxes upon boxes of like the various crap throughout the years that's accumulated. And Dorothy wasn't lying; they did do some organizing. Like you can actually find things pretty easily. You would have to imagine it's better than it was before. And
Tears of joy for organization from Eris.
Yeah.
yeah,
Shout out,
I mean,
Dolly and Dolly for that. Well, I guess
I'm gonna start trying to puzzle things out.
yeah, puzzle things out, poke around. This is your time, people.
Dang it, I wish
Damn
I
it.
had a lower
Oof.
point.
Do I
That
have-
is a 5.
okay.
Hot 5 from Iris. That is a straight fail.
Yep.
All right.
I'm puzzling things out. Oh, that's a 6.
We're so good at this.
Eudora, save us.
I'm gonna
That's why I
poke
was
around
waiting
till the end.
because of my one of my class moves, the dilettante move, ready for anything. I can roll at the beginning of a session. If I roll well enough, I get a hold and I can spend it to get a +1 for a scene. I'd like to use that now.
Go ahead.
And I'm going to roll poke around. So
Come on, baby.
big money, baby. That's a 6 + 1. That's a 7 plus another 1. That is 8.
And this is the poke around?
This is poke around
All
because
right.
my reason is -1, and I'm not testing the waters on that.
Well, you find the other part
I got you.
of
Give
the
me that.
newspaper you were looking for.
Oh,
I would look at the other side.
well, I ain't got it. Smart.
It's so big.
I think this is where the scrap
Oh,
came
look.
from.
Cool numbers.
Yeah, you see the St. John's Library article where it should have been, like cut out. And you see,
large.
listen.
Finding venture.
Oh, there's something, y'all. There's something about the miners. Okay, so the article, it's over the last few weeks, there's been growing unrest within the community in regards to the mining operations supposed to be undertaken by the newest family in town, the Underwoods. Oh, something, yada, yada. The residents expressed their outrage specifically about the mine site itself, noting that the land is considered in some ways untouchable by the locals.
And I think in that same box where you find that, I'm going to give this specifically to Liza, because I imagine you're kind of reading over Lorelai's shoulder.
Yeah, I'm probably still like, I'm listening and I'm like harping through things.
I'm going to give... I got stuff for everybody here.
Oh my gosh.
Treats.
Yeah,
Little
let me make sure that
treats.
I'm giving everybody the
Okay.
right stuff.
I think as Lorelai is reading through this, she's like, y'all,
Yeah, I think
Papa messed up.
You think?
these two are going to Iris. So I'm going to put these over here for a minute. These
So many little trinkets.
are going to Liza. You find a nice little stack of letters.
Oh,
Let me know if you need the
goodness.
transcripts. I have transcripts right here.
Please, I can't read cursive.
Oh,
Alright.
no.
Which one? Go ahead and which
this
one?
is the Dear Mr. Underwood, may God have mercy on your soul.
Oh, I don't like may God have mercy on your soul.
That's the last line.
Okay.
Picture aesthetic.
I was about to say we got cool.
Let's show it to the
That's-
camera.
It's
camera.
Mary Winters who wrote that.
Mary Winters.
Cool.
Uh-huh.
Do you
Okay.
like coal? We don't.
Okay, I think that
Here's the
sure don't.
here's that transcript.
Oh, that looks like it's written by a kid.
Which one is that one?
let's hope it's
No.
All right. Y'all fun.
Oh no, this was
Y'all,
written by
these
a
are-
child.
Hey,
There can't
these
be
are
good-
beautiful.
Wait,
They're
Shout out Gray Cunningham who does our
Shout out
PD.
Gray
Gray, I
Cunningham.
love Gray.
oh my god, they're tea stained. I'm obsessed actually.
This
He wrote all those letters, and he also hand wrote them. So, thank you very much. All right,
Oh, I think
here is the letter from
I don't even know
Carissa
where to start.
from Carissa Barnes, the child. It's going to be the last one and the start of the second page.
Oh my lord, this is so much.
are y'all mentioning details about any of these out loud?
Yeah,
I think-
what,
I
you
what
can
think
read
just,
the
like-
ones that are most
I
significant
think
to you.
I have to just start. I think the first thing Liza would notice is "May God have mercy on your soul."
Oh.
And so once Lorelai stops finishing, "Dear Mr. Underwood, I am writing you today to beg you one final time to please sit down your man investors in the surrounding area. I have a son, Frank, who's fighting for his life in the hospital. After the wretched torment you called a business destroyed his lungs, Frank started working at your company in hopes of getting enough money for his little brother to go to school on the East Coast. Not that that matters anymore. College funds are going to his medications. Been in a coma for 3 weeks now. Doctors aren't sure he's going to wake up. He loved to read. He loved those books about gardening you taught, the summer soil and water hydrangeas. He wanted to be a writer someday. You're ruining lives, tearing families to shreds. Shut minds down, condemn them, whatever you have to do to bring these poor souls home. You've got some reckoning to face at the end of this, I guarantee it."
This one, was a child. His father was coughing, and then got a big rock fell on his head. He stopped coming home after that, but just begging Lawson to tell him to come home and to help out the family.
Ruined people's lives.
I urge you to please heed our voices. You'll break more than ground if you continue to man down there. The things you have disturbed are going to come for you whether you like it or not. Strange things have happened here, and I wouldn't touch the area for nothing. No riches could put me in a mile of those caves. Whatever is older than you could possibly imagine. Oops, sorry,
Those
for
are
Eudora.
Those are for Eudora. I think that's when you see those other ones on that note.
Things are gonna get
If
messy, I
we're-
guarantee you.
If what we're seeing isn't real, then I would say
You
it's
can't hide the
Iris-
something that got
casualties
shook
and
loose.
While they're doing some reading, Iris, you saw some letters with some familiar names labeled on them. Can you pass the geologist one specifically to Lorelai?
Oh, here. Yes. The
Bernard
sediment.
Bernard Chip.
I found out who Ed Waller is, and he noticed nothing but light was flickering and wanted extra $50 for it. So I believe I understand where the misinformation came from.
And you also understand what those ledgers were for all of a
Oh.
sudden.
The letters,
Ledger.
the numbers, the money gifts. The money gifts, they went to Ed Waller. Ed Waller was lying.
He was what? Hold on. let
He
me see
said
that.
something about lights. I don't know what
Hold
the
on,
lights
hold
were
on,
for.
hold on. The only thing I wanted was some of these.
He said he was happy, smiling
The
faces.
lighting
picking
equipment seemed to
chunk
be
down
flickering
there.
a bit. Nothing 50, but I mean, you're treating you real nice. I'm thinking about my last day trip to the mines. I don't know if that seems right, considering everyone else is
So
talking about
obviously someone was lying, and I'm not assuming it was the child.
Yeah, I don't see what reason a kid would have to lie.
Eudora, what do you got there?
Some stuff. Sir, you have no idea the mistake you're making disturbing that earth. It's going to come hungry for your blood. The powers at play won't judge you kindly, and the hatred you've brought here will reap terror on your soul. Please, if you care at all for your own hide, please cease all activity down there. That land isn't for you to carve apart. It will rebel. There won't be any final warnings. And all of these are the same sentiment.
So what we're hearing is that
There's something coming to take
Stinky.
your crown. You can taste it in the air.
But he's dead.
I
He's
mean,
dead.
We're stuck with his name, whether we like it or not. So I think if we want to live, we're stuck with figuring it out, unless we want to die here
well, clearly
We've
it has to
profited off
do.
of his blood.
too. Yeah,
One
But
way or
I
the
don't
other.
have the blood.
we're cursed.
profited
Yay,
off of his blood.
great.
Yeah.
What do you got, Lorelai?
There was this name of this man. He was mentioned in the paper. It was Dr. Bernard Shepard. He's from Arkansas. He was a geologist, and it sounds like something that he's talking about what we're dealing with. It's a thing. It's something.
Coal dust and silica.
Yes, so a concentration of coal dust and silica have such a narrow and deep cavern proved to have long-term, sometimes lethal effects for an operation of the skill. Something about it's like in the public health records. I think that very well could be what we're.
It would make sense.
Yeah.
The question is, why now? Why not while he was alive? They clearly had the chance. Did someone open it back up?
I mean,
Alice?
I haven't.
No.
No one's opened it back up.
Eudora, you recall something that Dolly told you just a few minutes ago. Your house, the house you're in right now, was built upon a mine. One that Lawson opened.
Opened recently? Or just
No.
in the past? Years ago.
The very home you're in is built on blood.
And someone's come to collect.
So we need to leave.
Someone's trying
know
to
if that's
kill us,
enough.
and I don't think we can get out of here soon. I'd like to make sure I'm not gonna die. I have things I'd like to do. I'm sure you do too. So I think we can figure this out. I know I would. So at the very least, I'd like to live.
I'm fairly sure that what we're hearing is this house is part of the mines.
Right.
That all this
There are
tragedy
people
occurred on.
we are hearing. I'm hearing the voices of all these people that have died. I've never heard something so just sorrowful. Like it's on my soul. I can't shake it, and it's awful. And it's. I think if you said the house was on the mines, if Lawson's gone, they're coming to take it back. If they're
Do we
that's
give
the
them
only
house?
thing.
Can you go ahead and read another one of those letters? Just pick your favorite.
I don't know what the.
Do we give them the
Pick your
house? Do we
favorite.
give them our blood? Do we burn it
Ugh,
down?
This one is probably my favorite. Mr. Underwood, you should never have broken that soil. You profit off the sweat of the brows of better men than you, heaving the dirt. There's something coming to take your crown. You can taste it in the air. You're going to regret eating from a plate that wasn't yours. What have you done?
And you hear bong, bong, bong of the grandfather clock downstairs.
Oh, I forgot he was dead.
It's 3 p.m.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's
been a
time
busy
for a
day.
funeral.
All right. Well,
Well,
I guess we gotta go.
We gotta check the door first.
All right, be my guest.
Whatever was at the door is gone, but the scratch marks remain.
Lead the way.
Interesting.
And you all make your way outside along with everybody else. And there is the coffin at the side of the place in the earth where, where the hole will be, is waiting for the coffin. And there are chairs set out at the personal funerary plot. And how ironic is it that you guys get to be buried or other people are. But their deaths weren't so willing, were they? They didn't get to die at 97.
That's not fair.
None of it's fair. But that's what being an Underwood is. It's blood. It's sweat. It's tears. And it's never your own. You can run away as far as you want. You can say you don't have that name. But as long as it's attached to your soul, you carry it. And you still have a place to go back to. As the priest begins to step up at the podium to give his speech, you hear this deep rumbling in the earth. And it feels like it's clawing at your bones. And everything is sickly and pale and thick. It unsettles inside you. If there was something that could sit at the back of the pews, it would. And it would wait for you to join him. He kind of files his papers and he's like, I apologize for my state. It's been a long afternoon, as I'm sure it has for all of you. All right, let's begin today's procession, shall we? We are gathered here today, another rumble from the earth. And you see from the edges of where the burial site is, earth crumbling. And it sounds like something deep. Despite that hole only being 6 feet, you could swear it sounds like 1,000. Clawing itself deep from the earth. The land fracturing at your feet from Lawson's soon-to-be final resting place. Your nails caked with dirt. Its bones jagged and muddied yellow feathers. The earth stares at you through the eyes of the dead, and you, in your hubris, stare back, and it screams with 1,000 voices, ripping a hole through your chest and a snarl. This is what your family was built upon. This is the price of wealth. You claimed your pound of flesh, smothered it, shattered it, sickened it. Now it has and will do the same to you. Screaming in one singular motivation, it cries out, "No more Underwoods." May God forgive you all. Folks, that's going to be our show. Thank you so much for watching. You can find us on Instagram at HitPoint Hall. And just a reminder, we are supporting the Arkansas branch of the organization Gay for Good. You can find their website, gayforgood.org/Arkansas. They do incredible work for the community that is near and dear to my heart as an Arkansan. Again, that is gayforgood.org/Arkansas. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time live. Good night.
Good night.
Bye. I hope we don't die.
Good night, everyone.
I
I know
said to
I
get the
am.
Advil.